Hi, I'm Eric HEINS, an elementary school teacher and president of the California Teachers Association. I apologize that I'm not able to attend in person today, but today CTA is leading a statewide day of action to push back on the Trump-DeVos agenda of privatization and vouchers, and to advocate for the schools that all California students deserve, regardless of which zip code they live in, their immigration status, what language they speak, where they come from, or whom they love. Grounded in a strong vision of educational equity, California has set the foundation and policy framework for a greater focus on support and continuous improvement to ensure all students graduate ready for the world that awaits them. This work rests in a commitment to standards and the development of local capacity, local control, and professional capital necessary to implement them successfully. California has always been an outlier when it comes to educational policy, starting with the rejection of the race to the top and its test and punish approach to accountability. California has developed a new accountability system based on a three-legged stool of performance, equity, and continuous improvement. We don't fully yet know the impact of the confirmation of Betsy DeVos or the election of Donald Trump on education in California, but we do know what their agenda is: privatization and vouchers. And we here in California completely reject that vision and will continue to build our own vision, the California Way. The California Way engages students, parents, and communities as part of a collaborative decision-making process about how to fund and implement these improvement efforts and provide supplemental resources to ensure that California's English language learners, foster youth, and students in poverty have the learning support they need. The Emerging California Way began with the election of Governor Brown in 2010. In the middle of the Great Recession in 2012, after years of devastating budget cuts to the education budget of more than $20 billion and the loss of more than 30,000 educators, California voters approved Proposition 30, a tax increase to support educational funding. Lawmakers also approved a new school funding formula to target more resources with students with the greatest needs and to move school funding decisions back to local school districts, while also demanding more involvement in those decisions by educators, parents, students, and the community. California had also adopted the Common Core state standards, but recognizing that the shift would not happen overnight, California rejected the demands from the Federal Department of Education and eliminated outdated tests and suspended the state's testing and accountability system while transforming to the new standards. Led by Governor Brown, California rejected Race to the Top and its punitive test and punish approach to school change. California also refused to include teacher evaluation system based on student test scores. California allows that local districts to bargain with the local teachers bargaining unit and determine how tests are used in evaluation, and believes that the focus should always be on improving instruction. Supporting instruction is another critical component. For 3 years, the state has provided additional resources to support the implementation of the new standards with a focus on professional support for educators. CTA has also pioneered new improvement processes for large numbers of schools, incorporating shared collaborative leadership, smaller class sizes, and professional collaboration with demonstrable and sustained impact on achievement results. California is now on the path of heading towards building a new accountability system that gets beyond just test scores. The California Dashboard relies on true multiple measures that look at the whole child and focuses on the whole system, and the kind of indicators that we are still developing but will actually focus on things that actually improve student learning. Novel idea. California's educational leaders are participating in the Rim Collaboratory to discuss how to realize the inspiring values that the state shares with the Collaboratory, and in the context of the new federal ESSA law, to build a network of global policy learning for the state in a time when more authority for educational policy and development and implementation is shifting to the state level. Thank you for taking the time and listening to an introduction of how we're doing education in California. In California, we're going to continue to advocate for the schools that all California students deserve. We're going to continue holding the whole system accountable for educating the whole child, and do it regardless of the federal context or the global context. We're going to continue to do it the California way.